Hey, this is Skipan. If you're watching this, you might be interested in making your own creative videos or wanting to get started vlogging, but don't know necessarily what kind of camera to pick up. I wanted to introduce something today. It's called the Insta360 GO 2, and it's a camera that can let you be really creative without knowing too much about filmmaking. The original Insta360 GO was a really innovative and interesting camera. I did purchase it and used it a few times on the channel, but never really made a review about it because it had its issues. The Insta360 GO 2 I have here really improves on the original's concept, and I think it's a viable option for YouTubers, and more specifically, artists wanting to start a YouTube channel. Insta360 did, after all, show the GO 2 being used by an artist in its promotional material, and so I wanted to offer my thoughts on this little camera and how I've been using it as a creative YouTuber. I won't be going into all the specs and how to use this camera. There's plenty of videos out there explaining in detail how you can use this camera and what it's good for. I specifically recommend Philip Bloom's. He's an authority on cameras and videos that I respect very much, and he has a very long video that goes into a lot of detail about how you can use this camera, what its flaws are, and what it's good for. At first glance, the Insta360 GO 2 might seem like a GoPro style action camera, with that wide and distorted field of view. And it is sold that way in a lot of the marketing material, but I think what's interesting about this camera from an artist's perspective is that it captures a lot more information than the typical camera does. When you film in Pro mode, the camera captures a circular image, which you can then crop to a 16:9, 1:1, or 9:16 video. This extra information also allows Insta360 to do some truly amazing digital stabilization. Video taken in Pro mode can be stabilized with what Insta360 calls flow state, and just check out the smooth footage even when purposely climbing stairs in a really rough manner, or walking on rugged terrain, or riding a bike. This is all footage straight from the Insta360 GO 2. I haven't edited it in any way, and I didn't use a gimbal or Steadicam. In some cases, it can be easy to mistake the footage for being taken with a drone. And in fact, the Insta360 GO 2 is small and light enough to be used as a camera on FPV drones. With all that extra information, you could do some cool editing tricks, like adding some camera movements without cropping your video and losing resolution. This kind of editing can all be done within Insta360's own mobile app. In the mobile app, they even offer some AI editing. You could cut down your clips, add some color, and like I said, add some camera movement. But Insta360 really made some bizarre choices with the app. When you open the app, you're sometimes greeted with an ad for some event or a challenge, or even another Insta360 product, even though you already purchased one. It also seems like they brand their videos by default. You could easily turn it off, but the whole experience just kind of feels tasteless. The marketing aside, this camera is really extremely easy to use, and the app surprisingly does allow users with little to no video editing experience to pull off some very stylish editing tricks. Another thing that's great about this little camera is that the mic is excellent. I think it's really hard to bring a full kit with you, including a microphone, when all you want to do is just vlog. So something like this really lightens the load and lets you be more creative. And I just wanted to do a quick comparison between the GH5 with the Rode Video Micro and the Insta360 GO 2 so that you can kind of tell the difference between the mic qualities. Of course, the GH5 is a more professional grade camera, but under optimal circumstances, I think the Insta360 GO 2 can do pretty well. All of this means that beginners and those that just want to get their voice out there can do it in a really easy and convenient way without knowing that much about video editing and video editing workflows. The camera being so small and light also makes a great top-down camera, and with built-in, easily accessible time-lapse recording functionality, it can be a great tool for those wanting to do speed paints or just wanting to add an extra creative angle to their videos. The super small size and weight also opens up a ton of different possibilities. You could use the Insta360 GO 2 to add some third-person view to your vlog, or use the case's conveniently included tripod legs to place this somewhere no other camera could go and get that interesting shot. The camera also has magnets that can provide a great way to get the camera in unique positions or rig it up to your main camera and get some really interesting behind the scenes shots. Of course, there are issues with this camera. The quality isn't the highest even among the action camera class. Low light situations in particular suffer with strange artifacts and mushy colors. I can also see something that often happens with action cameras happening with the Insta360 GO 2. A lot of people will use them a few times and just put them in the closet or on a shelf and barely touch it ever again. So that makes it very hard to justify the $300 price tag unless you have some sort of outlet for all its functionality. It offers a lot of great tools for video creators new and experienced, but you really have to ask yourself if it's necessary for your workflow. Because if you won't take full advantage of all the modes and features,
A modern smartphone can accomplish a lot of the same basic functions. The Insta360 GO 2 has helped me get my message out there in a really convenient way, or really just take some creative B-roll, but often the footage will clash with my more professional grade cameras, and sometimes the audio just doesn't hold up and I have to re-record some dialogue to be more seamless in videos.
So at the end of the day, I have a very hard time deciding whether I should recommend or not recommend the Insta360 GO 2, and it's made even more complicated by the fact that it has a less than traditional form factor and non-conventional approach to filming and editing.
The video and audio quality can vary greatly, being surprisingly good in the best of situations, but disappointingly bad in the worst. It doesn't have a lot of professional features and options, but that's not what Insta360 is going for with this camera. The GO 2 has a much more simple approach to filmmaking, and with one button press, anyone can be filming. Less things in the way of recording can be a huge benefit for many people. If you're a fan of cool gadgets, or just want to take the thinking out of vlogging and make videos to easily get your voice out there, it's certainly a creative and good choice. For more professional productions, or those more involved on the technical side of filmmaking and editing, it's a cool toy, but it can be difficult to integrate with other footage beyond just B-roll. Of course, even professionals could find it interesting for vlogging, but might find that the image and audio quality can be subpar in certain circumstances, and the app can be cumbersome. But then again, most things I talk about on this channel are a compromise between portability and quality. For its size, it's pretty impressive, and with the right mindset and a little bit of experience, anyone can get out there and make some really interesting videos with this camera. I hope this video could help you decide whether the Insta360 GO 2 is right for you, or just introduce you to a really cool piece of tech. Let me know what you think about this video, and also let me know if you're interested in hearing about other types of digital art. I do photo and video as well as drawing, and I would like to expand the channel to cover different aspects of my digital art. I'm Skippen, and thank you so much for watching.